Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming. I see some familiar names from last week already, but nevertheless, we'll still do a recap to kind of go into more detail of what we covered last week. Thanks for coming and joining us on Design Your Brand. All right, let's get started with our recap. So by the end of today, you will know a little bit more about what it takes to design a brand and not just go on Canva. I know we advertised it about using Canva. We'll use Canva, but there's a lot more thinking process that goes through this before going to Canva. It's very important to know that Canva is a tool and not and a tool is not the power, right? It's that your critical thinking and your design, and then using that tool to enhance and bring out about your vision. So I'll help you with that thinking process and recap what we did last week. Then we'll head on right on Canva and make some designs and build your brand kit. Awesome. Sounds good? Fantastic. A little bit about myself. My name is Akosia Champamawala. Some of you may know me as the director of the Norfolk State Innovation Center, but I also have my own business where I help entrepreneurs with thinking process, really. A lot of my background is in systems engineering. So we do a lot of systems thinking. And by the time you learn systems thinking or design thinking, you start to realize a lot of the things that we do is 80% of the thinking and then 20% of execution. So a lot of us wants to spend a lot of times in the do land where, okay, let me get on Facebook, let me get on Canva. But if you do really well and learn how to think systematically and learn how to design before you do, you will have a lot of success and ease. A lot of your nerves will also be eliminated because of thinking. So I teach people how to, do design thinking and thinking around your business before going into the execution mood. All right. So my company is called CityLighter, and CityLighter really came out of a place of seeing a lot of people struggle with starting their business. When we do surveys at the Innovation Center, we get a lot of, people just don't know how to start besides lack of funding. Everybody says lack of funding, but people have a lot of questions about how do I start? And I think a lot of it has to do with lack of knowledge, but also lack of thinking, being able to think about yourself. They say that people that have wealth spends a lot of time thinking, right? It starts with your thoughts and then it manifests into idea. So the idea is a combination of your thoughts, right? Several thoughts that becomes an idea. And that is what CityLighter does, is really help you bring out the right ideas, because within the idea are solutions that sets people free, solutions that really elevate other people. So that's what we do, is a lot of teaching you how to systematically design and think before you start executing. So I will teach you a little bit of that. All right, so with this design process, build your brand. Like I said, we're not going to quickly go on Canva. That's what we did. We did a little bit of that last week, but we want to recap because we have some new people on the line today. These are the 10 steps. First, you define your value proposition. I hope you still have it written down, the people that were here last week. Your value proposition is the benefit, right? Or that you are offering to your customers. Then we go to customer segment. We'll also talk about brand personality. We'll talk about brand name. We'll talk about different types of logos, different types of fonts. We'll also talk about establishing your voice. That part is very important and crucial later on when you start communicating your message to people. All right, we'll also talk about colors, and we'll talk about imagery, the right images to use and where to get those images from, and also go more into doing the brand kit. Since we went through all this last week, I'm going to go through it quickly. The videos are available to you, and the Women's Business Center will send out the recorded video of last week, so you can get more details. But if you are new today, I want you to do me a favor and write down things when I tell you to write it down, so that you don't miss out when we go on Canva, okay? So real quick, your value proposition is the benefit that you offer. You need to be customer focused and not product focused, right? You need to focus on your customers. It's about problem solving. It's about solving the needs that your customers have. It's also about figuring out your customers' desire. So that's where the real value is. People buy value. They don't necessarily buy things, okay, or services. There's a value. There's a job they want you to do, and that job is solving a pain for them. Okay, so right quick, as I describe this, if you're not here, make sure you write down what you think the main pain that your idea is solving, okay? Write down value proposition and write down the bad outcomes, the pains, the risks, the obstacles that your customers are facing, all right? And then next to it, write down what you're doing to alleviate that pain, okay? So write down the pains that your customer are. So if you are a dietitian, you want to write down, the struggle is weight loss, right? Or food management, that struggling with weight loss, and what you are going to do to alleviate that. The combination of both simply gives you your value, the benefit, right, that you are offering to your customers, okay? So this is a recap because we went through it last week. Then the customer segments is when you finally realize the reason why you're struggling with identifying your customers is because you have multiple customers, right? You have multiple groups of people that can utilize your service, okay? So what you want to do is figure out the groups. How are you going to group your customers, all right? That is what your customer segments are, all right? Sometimes it may be by persona, sometimes it may be by geography. I can show you an example here. A quick example here is we have an art supply business, right, that has multiple customer service. So it's one business, but this person is serving artists. He's also serving teachers. He's also serving students. So you will see that this person will need to figure out how to talk and message these people in a different way. So what we want to do today is make sure you can quickly group your customers, but I want you to focus on the ones that we like to call early adopters, okay? Going back to the pain, the ones that has the immediate pain that you are going to solve, okay? So in this case, it may just have been teachers, or he may be more, it may be more easier for this person to reach teachers first before people that are retired or before tourists, okay? So your customer segments are your groups. And I'll save towards the end for some questions. All right, then your brand personality. This is where I want you to quickly write down, if you haven't already, what are the adjectives that describes your brand? If your brand was a person, right? If your brand was a person, what are the adjectives that will describe your brand? Okay, are you more feminine or are you more masculine? Are you more towards youth or more towards mature audience, right? So that is Think of adjectives that describes your customers, okay? So you see why I'm getting you to be a little more customer focused and not self-focused, okay? Because sometimes, a lot of times people design their brands, their colors and everything, and they're just all focused about themselves, right? Because it's your idea, it's your business, it's your plan. But there are people that are going to open up their wallets and we take them serious. They may be a little more different from yourself. And so think about that person. All right. So a little theme, a circle here are the 12 main brand personalities, and you'll find out that there are more than 12, okay? So this chart helps you too if you want to think about some things. So for example, if you go on Canva, which is the tool that we'll be using today, Canva is for creatives, it's for art, it's for design, right? So you'll see that they will use some blue colors, okay? Innovation is something too that I've seen a lot of tech or technology companies use blue. So for example, my colors are yellow because there's a liberation that our company is focused on, how to liberate people who wants to start businesses and solve problems, okay? And so that's why we use yellow. So you can take a moment and look at this as well. All right, so brand names. By the time, most of you probably already know your brand names, but just to really let you know how brand names comes about, there's something called a descriptive name, which is where this is Bank of America's logo, by the way. So a descriptive name is as it is. It describes exactly what the company does. So Whole Foods, right? They sell food and groceries and stuff like that. Bank of America is a bank that already has the name Bank of America in the name. Or there's a far end of it, which is more like an inventive name, like Google. Google was not a word before, so Google is an inventive name. If you want more understanding and more backgrounds of the different types of name in between descriptive and inventive, you can use this link here to read this article. I love this article, and it gives a very great illustration of the different types if you want to go that far with your brand name or revisit your brand name. Awesome. So we have the logos now. Big deal. Your logo is the symbol, it's the symbol of your business, right? So when people see your logo, they think about your business. So there are 7 types of logos that you can, there's a combination here where it's both text and pictures, or you could do just a picture like Apple, right? NASA has more letters. So NASA has more letters, Google is more words, right? An inventive word. And then there's Pepsi, which is just an abstract design. Or a lot of universities and institutions use an emblem, which is more like this. This is Harvard's logo. Awesome. So now let's talk about fonts. Fonts are important more than you think. Fonts, there are certain fonts that attract confidence. There are certain fonts that attracts, attention in, a mild or feminine way, even. So with that being said, it would be beneficial for you to go through Canvas fonts and see which one attracts you more. But there are 3 types of fonts that you want to go with, okay? The first one is your main font. That main font is very bold. It's for your headers, right? Those is for your big titles. For me, for this presentation here, there's a consistency in the font. There's only 3 fonts that you will find in this presentation. I have a bold font here, which is right here. And I use the same font name. Grow text is the name of the font, right? However, it comes in a bold, it comes in a medium, and it comes in a light. So what you want to do is to quickly identify which font you like. You can do what I did and pick the same font name with different color, with the light, medium separating it. Or you can pick 3 totally different font names, right? You don't have to pick the same font name. So I have the bold, which is for the main font, and I have the medium, all right? The medium is for the subheaders, okay? Medium is for the subheaders. The bold, as you can see, is more deeper. So when on the first slide, you saw design your brand, that's the bold, okay? The medium is for anything subheader. Then the light is for the text. So if you can see, everything that is typed here, under here, the link is in the light because it's a text, all right? Then real quick is your brand voice, all right? This part is a big deal because it is directly connected to your messaging and how you communicate online, all right? So the tone is what is kind of like the vibe. What is the vibe that you give off when you are talking to your customers, whether it be in video, whether it be in an article format, right? On audio, no matter what it is, your vibe should be consistent, all right? It can be a direct vibe, it can be a humble vibe, or very scientific. So the other thing is language, all right? Your language is what kind of words do you use in social media conversations, all right? So are you going more complex, right, or fun? What kind of language, what kind of words are you using when you are doing social media? All right. Your purpose. The purpose is why you are on social media in the first place. You need to figure out why you're on social media. Why are you communicating to an audience in the first place? Very important. Is it to educate them? Because that will show the type of content that you are building. Is it to enable or enhance or amplify something? Then you need to know that purpose as well, because your messaging will be directly connected to that. Then you have to pick your colors, all right? The colors are right here. Once you get the slide, some of you have the slide already from last week. You can really see that different colors represents different things, okay? So I like the black because it says black evokes power, sophistication, edgy, luxury, and modern feeling. So a lot of fashion companies or luxurious companies uses black and gold or black and white because it amplifies that luxurious feel. All right. For me, for my business, my primary colors are these 3 colors here. The yellow is the base, right? The main color. And then we have an accent color, which is the gray. And then we have a neutral color, okay? So you'll have to pick 3 main primary colors that you should be identifying with your brand, okay? Also, you can have a secondary colors, right? Where you pick 3 other secondary colors. So in case you want to do some type of presentation that you don't want to stick with the main colors, you should have a plan B where you have 3 other colors that are your to-go to for your brand, okay? So you're not constantly randomly selecting colors, because consistency with your colors, your font is important because of identification, right? Your customers needs to identify you and see you, right? I gave the example last week that NSU has specific colors. Behold, the green and gold, for example, right? And everybody identifies with that colors. And your team has to identify with those colors and be consistent. All right, the next thing is imageries, right? You want to have an idea of the type of images that uh, you want to illustrate, especially going back to the voice, because of the purpose of why you are communicating with a particular audience, right? So for this one, your purpose may be to create more cohesiveness, all right? So the type of images that you want to use needs to be illustrate cohesiveness, all right? If you go on unsplash.com, they have huge modern high definition pictures for free. All right, all categories. All right, unsplash.com was one of my very secrets, but right now it's very well known. Unsplash.com, they don't give you, that stock feeling of those images that everybody normally use. So unsplash.com is very modern from modern artists. All right, so that is it of the 10 steps, and all of this together is creates your brand kit. All of that gives you your brand kit. Your brand kit is your guide. It's a guide for you, it's a guide for your team. Every business should have a brand kit, because the more people you bring on board, they need to follow the branding that you have in place, right? Your colors, your font, and all of that, so that you can all be sending out the same message and people can identify you easily, even as you grow internally. All right, so right now what we are going to do is go on Canva. Canva is very easy to use, very user-friendly. I've been using it for over 6 years, and it just makes you look like a celebrity, like what celebrities used to throw out, what rich people, famous people, big companies used to throw out. Now you can do that at your home, in the comfort of your home, no matter where you are, with ease, and for the most part, for free. So you can use Canva for a while without actually having the paid service, because they offer a lot of premium in the beginning. All right, are there any questions? Especially the new people.
I'm sorry. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Bettina Mason, and I did not know that it was a 3-part class. It just looked like it was, okay, choose this day.
Right.
Or it was already sold out or something like that. So I chose the next day. So I do apologize for that. So I can look at the YouTube piece and at the recording of last.
Right.
I know someone mentioned in the chat, did you have to be registered for that in order for us to watch that?
Yes, in order for you to get access to the video, you had to register.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I remember if it was already sold out, and I think that's why I chose this date.
Yes, it was sold out the first week. It was sold out this week as well.
Okay, so how do we?
You will have the link to register for the next one.
Right.
Deborah will put it in before we get off, so that you can go ahead and register for the next one.
Okay, so but seemingly, if I didn't see the first one, am I really? Because you just went over it briefly, but if I wanted to get in depth, there's no way I could see that. Correct?
The YouTube. She put the link in the chat.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. We are able to look at the YouTube without having being registered for the last.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course.
Yes. Yes. That's what I was asking. Okay, perfect. Thank you so very much.
Yes. But were you able to jot down some things?
Oh, yes. Very quickly, like a court stenographer. But however, I am very detail oriented. So that's why I wanted to definitely rewatch the recording.
Okay.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure. All right, so if you do not have a Canva account, please go ahead and make one. Go on canva.com, canva.com. I'm going to sign out and show you how it looks. As soon as you come on Canva, it will tell you to log in or sign up. If you want to sign up, you have to kind of scroll down here and click on this sign up link. New to Canva, sign up. All right, it doesn't take long to sign up.
So you want us to go into our own canvas right now?
Yes,
Okay,
please
cool.
go into your own canva.com.
Okay. And when you get there, I did have a question.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt you though.
No, people are probably registering, so you can go ahead and ask me.
Okay, great. So with the things that we designed, is there a place, Akoshia, that you recommend to test this out? I mean, I always find it best if you throw something to someone. So do you recommend we find our ideal audience, like you talked about our customer segment, and then we say, hey, does this color, this logo, does this message, you know, what's your thoughts on how we get some validation on if we're in the right track to appeal that person? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Good.
So of course, everything you want to validate with your customers, but when some people are starting creating a brand, they may not have a social media audience yet. It will always work for you to use your Facebook and, you know, make a post. What do you think of these 3 colors? But the people on Facebook may not be your target audience. So what you want to do is use that critical thinking that I helped you with being more customer focused. There's another version where you are more empathetic and you are seeing and feeling your audience and coming up with the best that you can. And because again, a lot of people, when you're starting off with a brand, you may not have an audience yet when you're starting off designing, but you should also save room for making some changes. Once you get an audience, you can ask people in your audience what they think of your design, your colors, and your fonts. Yes, you can do that validation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and so it's Elizabeth. That's an interesting point, because as you were talking, I didn't really think about, I could actually design it and then pop it out on my Instagram right now for validation. So because I'm leading with the book design, so that's being launched. But that's
Yeah.
a good place, because I know that is my ideal audience. Yeah, I
Okay.
like what you said, because Facebook, I agree with you. It's so mixed. And it's been
Yeah.
developed over the years, but Instagram's more relevant. But that's a cool idea. And then vet it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and it's very quick and people are going to respond to it. If
Yeah,
you have
plus-
an audience, please share your fonts and your colors with them. It helps with engagement too. All right, so is everybody on Canva? You have your own account open up? Please unmute your mic and talk to me because I can't see your faces right now.
Yes, so I'm open.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yes, I'm open.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So last week, what we did was we quickly took some time to go back to the logo. We're going to do that again. If you go on top of here on Canva, just type in the search box as I've put it up, type in logo. And what it does is, if you scroll down, it pulls up the different logo categories that they have on Canva. But if you click on the very first one, what it will do is it will also generate different types of logos. All right. Okay, so in Canva, it's important to know that not everything is free on Canva. Some text, some images, especially the images and icons, cost money sometimes. So it's important for you to know if you're selecting a free one or not. The way you know that is if you highlight it For example, you see how this one says free. You may highlight something else and it will say pro. All right. So if it says pro, especially if you don't have the paid version, okay, it's going to pop up and it will say pro. So this one is most likely pro. I have the paid version now as of today. Like I said, you can do a lot without having the paid version. But if it's not popping up on here saying pro, it means it's free if you have the paid version. All right. So let's get started. I would randomly pick something. All right. So once you come here, please go to the left corner here and you will see the different themes. All right. So depending on what your business is, you want to look into those categories and select a theme if that's helpful for you. Please go ahead and select a template or something to just learn and test. So if you're doing something fashion related, you can go down here. If you're doing something more beauty or feminine related, I believe they have a, yeah, they have a beauty category here as well. All right. So real quick, this is how you go about pulling up a template in Canva. And this is just one of the many categories that they have. They have presentation templates, you know, they have infographic templates, they have book covers. So I just really wanted to quickly show you how to go about finding a category and pulling up templates and picking a template that works for you. Does that make sense? How's everyone doing?
Yes, makes sense.
Yes, makes sense to me as well.
Makes sense.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is go back home and we're going to design your brand kit. On the left here, when you click on home, click brand kit. So later on, you can come back and upload your logo. As you can see, this is our logo. The colors that are in here in the logo are the colors that are our primary colors. So I want you to go ahead and pick 3 of those colors, your base color, your accent color, and your neutral color. If anybody needs help with that, please let us know. If you have the paid version and you click add discover palettes, you will see a lot of already generated palettes that you can pick, which is really cool. In case you're like, I just don't know, just tell me something already. You can go ahead and pick a particular theme that you feel like will fit your audience. So in the 12 main circles that I showed you guys, like let's say the innovation and artist part that we talked about, Canva being, I see some like a color like this for someone that is more towards artists or innovation or creative space. The blues are always good. If you are doing more something feminine, you may want to go with some of these colors, the fuchsia or the yellows and the turquoise blue here. So how many of us have our colors so far?
I do.
Awesome. Do we need to give anyone more time in selecting colors? And again, you know, your final decision doesn't have to be in this course, right? This course is to give you the guidelines necessary so you can go in and create and design. So what I'm doing is teaching you the thinking process so that you can go in and really have a good time and establish your brand yourself. So are we good with the colors? All right, the next thing that we're going to do is look at your fonts. All right, I told you that these are the fonts that I'm using, the Grow Text here. What you want to do is no matter what fonts that you select, once you click on this pencil edit, you'll see all the fonts that Canva has, okay? Some people even can go as far as going to purchase their own fonts or Google in to find fonts and you can upload that font yourself. So if you want to go that route and ask the graphic designer to create your own font, you can do that. You can also purchase fonts from websites like creativemarket.com. That's creativemarket.com. You can purchase your own fonts. But hey, Canva has many fonts that other platforms like PowerPoint and other platforms that you'll be using as well has those same fonts. So in my opinion, you may not need to buy your own fonts, but if you wanted to, hey, you could. All right, so you want to have a bold one. Just go ahead and just select it and have fun. You want to have a bold one, you want to have a medium one, and you want to have a light one. How are we doing on that? Also, the very cool thing about having a brand kit on Canva is that when I select this color, the number of this particular color comes up. Okay, so like I said, you don't want to be using different types of yellows. Some people do that because you don't know the type of red that you picked. Next time you make something else, you have a different type of red. So for example, this yellow here is very different from the yellow that our company has. We have more of a lighter yellow. So the cool thing, which is this one right here. So the cool thing is that you can have your colors right all the time. This is the same gray that we'll always use, right? Even black, you'll be surprised to all different shades, right? That you want to pick the right shade. So if you just kind of hover here, you'll be able to see the color, all right? And whenever you come on Canva in your brand kit, it's always going to be there. But I do suggest that you create it and save it outside of Canva. You can create a Word document or something, or a PowerPoint slide that has it all in your own files in case you ever don't use Canva anymore. You can always have that in your files. All right, so we just unmute your mic and let me know we good on the colors and text.
Yep.
Awesome. Anyone else?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go back.
I got frozen, so I had to go right back in. So on the font,
Yeah.
because I'm on that screen, I was trying to catch up here. So I click on upload a font, but it doesn't. Maybe it's just my computer.
Well, you don't have any fonts to upload.
Okay.
So what you want to do is select some of the fonts that Canva has.
Oh, I see. Never mind. I figured out how to get in there. Thank you. Sorry for the delay. Yeah, that it threw me out and I had to come back in, catch up. Thank you.
No problem. So you can just go ahead and pick 3 different fonts
Perfect.
for yourself.
Thank you.
All right. So let's go back to the logo that you selected. All right. In case you closed it out, if you did select one, you can just go home, right? And click recent designs here on the left. And it will show you the recent things that you tried to design. You may have to refresh it. And as you can see, this is the logo that I picked. And so once you refresh it, it will come up. So what we want to do is now make the edits that necessary because we have our brand kit, okay? So I want you to go up here and rename the logo, all right? So to your brand name. Let's just call it Dream Shoppers. All right, now let's design using your colors. Before we do that, you may want to change the actual image, right? What you want to do is select the image that you have on there and quickly go down here to elements where it says element on the left. And you'll be able to type in anything. So since this is more like a flower shop logo, you can type in flowers. And it will pull up actual images. There's categories here. So you may be looking more for like a graphic, right? Instead of a photo. A lot of logos, we tend to use graphics instead of photos. And so once you select that and you click on the actual image that you want, it will bring it up and you can just select the old one and delete it. Whatever you want to delete, you have to select before you delete. So I want to delete the original flower here. I select it and go on my upper right corner here and click this trash icon and it will delete it for me. And I'll pull it and put it right here. So in case that's what I wanted to do and add a little more to it. So you can do whatever you want. So these are 2 different graphics that I have here. I can go to my colors, right? My brand colors. And for example, this is just an example. These are some of the palettes here. For the Pro, you can go ahead and have a new palette, but we're not going to do that. So is your palette pulling up? My computer is kind of close.
Did you design your CityLighter using this? Is that logo? Because that's beautiful.
You said, did I?
Design the CityLighter logo, the city light.
Yeah, I did.
That's
I did
really
on
cool.
Canva.
Thank you.
So everyone, your colors are pulling up to where you can change the colors of your graphic.
Yes, they are.
Fantastic.
Can we go back to that step and I watch you again? Because unfortunately, I'm now on my computer with 2 screens, so every time I drop down to try to do it myself, I can't see what you're doing.
Yeah. That's me too. It's tricky.
I wish I had started on my computer with the second screen, but that would have been so much easier. But that's okay.
Yeah. Last week, I was telling them that you can divide your screen into 2, so that
Okay.
yeah, so that you can see me and see Zoom at the same time. If you click on that minimize on your upper right corner, that 2 squares up there, you can make your screen smaller and move it to the right or left, and then make your Zoom screen smaller and move it to the other side.
Okay. I want
Under
to try
the
that.
view,
Thank you.
What was that?
under the view up in the upper right.
Yeah, under the view.
Yeah, mine didn't do that. Okay.
You can minimize it on Zoom. All right, so for the sake of what just happened, I'll just go ahead and show you again. So once you have a logo, you have your logo selected?
Yes.
Okay. And were you able to design your brand kit? Pick the colors?
Just the colors, right? And the font.
Okay. All right. So all you have to do now is pull your logo up, click on the graphic, and in the search button, you want to search for something for your business that relates with your business. Sorry, you want to click on elements first, elements, and then elements will pull up, then you search for something. So I searched for flowers, and what the flowers did was came up with a mixture of all of it, but for the most part, your logo is going to be more graphic than photos themselves. So what you want to do is select one of the graphics. You got it?
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. So as you guys can see with these, my beautiful flowers here, using my primary colors, I can go outside of it since for the sake of the flowers to make it pretty. And I have 2 different flowers that I selected and mixed together. You can do whatever you want. But I really want you to use your primary colors though, that you selected. All right. Now let's work on the font. You know, for the sake of not confusing anyone, I'll just use my primary colors and my brand kit. It's not bad. All right, so what you want to do is double click the font. Okay, and then what you want to do is go here, we're on the left corner again, where it says text. And you can choose to totally go with a different design of font. So for example, I can select, say this one, and it will pull it up and I would have to edit it. So you can go with like an actual design like this. If you have something beachy, you could do that. However, for this one, just staying with the basics, if you double click it and highlight it and come up here where my arrow is up here, it will pull up all the fonts that you selected and it will pull up your your recent fonts that you selected. And so you want to go with this. Since that's my main font, and then we'll keep it like that. And then you also want to double click if you have any sub header in your logo. Hey, you may not have any text at all in your logo, right? Which we learned about is the pictorial logo, where it's just a picture or just a graphic. But if you do have a text, I would want to go with the light one and maybe just italicize it by clicking here. And voila, it's created my logo. For me to move everything to the center, you want to kind of select everything, right? And what it will do, it will group everything together. And you want to click these 3 dots on your right and click group. So everything is together, and now I can move it wherever I want. Use the pink lines because it guides you to how to exactly have it in the right positions. All right. So voila, this is my new company logo, Dream Shop. All right. How was that?
Good.
Neat.
Pretty easy, right?
Yeah, I liked how you overlaid the flowers. I wouldn't have thought to do that on a logo. It's cool.
Right. Yeah, I could even go as far as like doing more. So just spend some time messing with different graphics if you would like. And again, you want to make sure you're using the line. So the pink line that comes up tells you that it's aligned, right? It's aligned. We want it to be aligned. So today you have your brand kit on Canva. I would suggest you take some time again and kind of collect that information from Canva and put it on a Word document and save it in your files. So what I mean by that is you want to open up a Word document, upload your logo from Canva. Oh, okay, so let's try this. If you go back to the brand kit, you will see that there's a brand and logo button here. What you want to do, I'm gonna open up Canva again because it's acting up with me, is open up your logo on a different browser, a different tab. And I'm gonna show you how to upload it to your computer. All right. So there are different types of downloads on Canva, which is cool. If you click download here on the upper right, and you select the File tab, you can see that they're different format, okay? What you want to do is get the high quality image of the PNG, all right? Or the PDFs really comes out really, really high quality. Probably more than the actual photo, but you want, for the sake of uploading, you want to click on PNG and then download it. Isn't that cool? Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. When you said download and you said the PNG, it had two little boxes it looked like it was underneath, and one said transparent or something.
Yeah, okay. So what that means is if you want a transparent background, which most people probably do, that means that, for example, if I just wanted it to appear without the white background and it was just this design, I would want to click the transparent background. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've been looking for that feature for a long time. So I'm so grateful right now because I couldn't figure out how to do that. So that's a great feature.
Yeah,
right
it
there.
really is. It really is. Go ahead. So when you use your logo, it's not going to have that white solid boom, especially if it doesn't go with your design. It will just be the graphic and the image condensed. So you can do that as well. And it will most likely go in your downloads. Okay. So what we're going to do is go back into our brand kit and upload it into our brand kit. The brand kit is on the left side. You click
It's not
brand.
letting me though, unless I pay for the pro.
Oh, there is that too. Sorry guys, I'm using the pro version.
Yeah, it won't let me save anything in there unless I pay for the.
Yes, okay. Thanks for letting me know. So that's how you go about it. But like I already said, you want to have a Word version anyways, or a PowerPoint version yourself. So all you do on that PowerPoint is to either look on my slides once you get it, but some of you have it already, and just go ahead and follow that format on the last page, on the brand kit page. But all you want to do is make sure you have the logo uploaded in your Word document. You make sure you have your colors and the numbers, right? You want to have the numbers in your brand kit as well. Very important. And then you want to also have your font names and the sizes, but that's not so important. The font name, the sizes if you want. All right, so that's how you will go about creating your Word document.
Can I ask a question about when I did take a look at the add and discover palettes? Does that mean that it adds color? Does that next color scheme add colors to your logo, or is it just for you to find colors?
That both. It can be for you to find colors or for you to find a secondary, colors that you will use. So you may have a presentation, that you're trying to do, right? and you don't want to use your main dry colors. So even though it helps with recognition, consistency, and all of that, you should pick a secondary palette of colors.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, and they do a good job with the options here. I like them. If you are having trouble with picking the color palettes, or you don't want to get the pro version yet, you can just go in PowerPoint, right? And PowerPoint has themes of palettes on there already, and just select those. Any questions? How many of you will be using the PowerPoint idea before I explain something? It may be unnecessary for me to explain it, but if you want to try using the PowerPoint, let me know.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, so the only thing that you need to know is that PowerPoint, you will need to convert the colors into HEX. So whatever palette colors that you select, PowerPoint gives it in RBG, but Canva has the color coded in HEX. So what you want to do is just Google RGB to HEX, and there are machines online for free where you can convert the color. All right, so PowerPoint will give you 3 colors. All right, and what it will do is it will convert the exact colors to HEX, which is what Canva uses.
You said PowerPoint only lets you use 3?
Yeah, PowerPoint uses RGB and Canva uses HEX.
Right, but
So,
only 3.
yeah. It's like 3, yeah, and then it will convert it to the HEX.
Got
You
it.
just have to copy it and paste it. All right. So today you've been able to work. We've done a recap. We've looked at your logo and a logo design. Even if you don't have the exact logo design, you know how to do it now. And now you also have a brand kit on Canva. All right. So how many of you were able to pull up your logo? Make sure that you know where it downloads to from Canva. Wherever it downloads to is most likely where everything else it will download to. Mine goes straight in my download file.
We're still seeing the RG to XX on your screen.
Oh, sorry.
Did I miss the part where you showed us? Because I know we showed the upload, how to do the download, but then I was thinking you were going to then show me how to save it into the brand kit. And did I blank on that?
Yeah, the only thing is my screen won't show you my folder. So that's why I'm saying go into your folders, like most likely your download folder, your downloads, and type in what you saved the logo in Canva as. So I would type in and download Stream Shop logo to make sure that it came into my downloads folder.
Okay, but then does that drop it underneath the brand kit? Because when you clicked on brand kit, you had CityLighter. I thought we were going to put this dream one next to it.
Right. Somebody said,
right there.
Well, we can, but if you don't have the paid version.
Yeah, I had to get it. It's $12.99, but you can get 30 days free.
Yeah. All right. So I'll type in my dream logo.
So that's where you hit it, then you do it, and then and it pops there. Okay, I got it now. Thank you.
Yeah. Mhm. So this is how the transparent one looks. It's just going to be, I mean, when you actually use it, it's not going to have all the grays in the back. It's just going to be the graphic and the text. Any questions?
How does the transparent one look on social media, like with Instagram or Facebook? Does it automatically give it a white background when you upload it into social media? If you use the transparent one?
No, it doesn't put the gray in the back. What is a good version of transparent logo? Let me just pull up. Did you download a transparent one?
I believe so. I think so.
Just go in your folder and downloads and pull it up on your computer. Like how it comes up is how.
Okay.
I wish I had a transparent logo.
I know the transparent ones are nice if you're dropping them in on your signature, like on an email signature down at the bottom, because then you don't have that square around like what you're trying to drop in, so that it looks better that way.
Okay, let me show you how. So I have a presentation I did for state. The transparent logo is, instead of it having that solid white or green background, it just pulls up the text. You can see here. So if you're on social media and you add it on top of an image, or you just upload it, it's just going to be like this.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right. Are there any questions? Next week, what we're going to cover are actually making content now. So making social media content, I think that is probably one of the things that people are asking about, and how to make a flyer on Canva. So we'll do a Facebook one, and we'll also do Instagram content. All right.
Hi, everybody. This is Deborah Gittens. I sent the link for next week's registration in the chat. And when I send out the surveys this afternoon, I will send the link again. Okay. Did anybody have any questions?
Hey, Deborah.
Did I speak prematurely,
Where did you put the
Akosua?
link again?
In
Can
the
you say
chat?
it again? You were breaking up. What was that?
Somebody wanted me to send it out in the chat again.
Hey, Deborah, it's Erica. Yes, please. I don't see that link.
Okay, then I will do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, everyone. Just real quick, I want you to subscribe to my newsletter so that you can get more free content and more information from me. All right. And also, if you are interested in, well, this is a little overwhelming. I'm glad I have the basic knowledge, and I really would like to work with you one-on-one. My contact information is on the slide deck once you have that. And feel free to just contact me and we can work on it. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate
My
it.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kosha.
Right.
Good to see you all.
So we can register for the next week. Are you going to send it on private like last week, or do we
Yes.
need to go back on Eventbrite and register?
I just re-registered,
Okay.
the link in the chat, and I will be
Great.
sending out a survey, and it'll include the link in it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing you all next week. It's
Thank
gonna
you.
be more practical. All right. See you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Have a great day.